Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for the 3rd of September. We'll look at the S&P and the NASI, and this is the S&P on the monthly chart here, where we have wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and we're looking up for wave 5 here, of a larger wave 5 at that point there as well. Between wave 4 and wave 5 up here, we're looking for 5 waves of 1 and 2, expanded flat here for wave 4, and then looking for wave 5 to the upside. Now it is possible, but I don't think it is the case, that that we could have wave 5 in the end of this sequence here, and that's something that we'll need to figure out at that point. But I think that for a few reasons, commodity cycles and a few other things, that that will just head up higher. But as always, we will be cautious on this pullback here, because we're also, if this move up here is wave 1 and back for wave 2 here, then we need to confirm that that is a wave 2 and not a larger bear market coming down at that particular point in time. So let's go to the weekly chart and pick that up from this wave 4 here. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1, possibly wave 5 here. As I mentioned, I don't think it's the case, but we'll just leave it there at that point. And also between this wave 4 and this wave 5, we're counting 5 waves up as well, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Let's go in and have a closer look at this sequence here from this wave 4 on the daily chart. So on this wave 4 here to this wave 5 here of this wave 1 here, we're looking for 5 waves up through here. Now, if I've made a mistake with this wave 1 here, which I don't think so based off the Nasdaq, but if I have, then this wave 1 would be sitting over here somewhere like this. I don't think it's the case, but it could be the case. But with the Nasdaq, it's really quite clear. If I can just bring the Nasdaq across on a 4-hour chart and just look at this wave 1 move up through here, then we can see that it's really quite sort of dominant, really, in its, like, you know, move to the upside as 1 and back for 2 here, pulling back 61.8%. So it's yeah, looking good. So obviously, you know, it's the Nasdaq stocks, the half a dozen or 10 stocks that, you know, are dragging the S&P up and the other markets, and so it's really about those stocks, and we track those of course as well. So I think, even though that this is a very small wave 2 in here, yeah, so we're still going to run with it. We're going to run with it as wave 2 here to wave 3, but we just need to be a little bit mindful that it's not like the best wave 2 pullback in this case. In the NASI was fine, but not in this one. So anyway, that said, from wave 4 here to wave 5, we're also looking for 5 waves of 1 and 2. We expect the extension to be in 3. That will take us up to the 4,000 area, and then wave 4 and then wave 5 at that point. So moving in a bit further with this on the 4-hour chart. From wave 4 to wave 1 here and wave 2 here. So going up to wave 3 at 4,000, we're looking for also 5 waves, as the green ones here as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here. Obviously that's can be something like this here, wave 4, wave 5 for wave 3, and then wave 4 here. Of course, we adjust all of these as we move along. So between wave 2 and wave 3 here, we're looking for 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in this sequence. And the numbers up here, the trading levels here, as I mentioned yesterday and so on, the market has been snaking sideways through here, but at the same time, it's all been about the 36 here. So the 36 couldn't find support here, didn't maintain support here, dropped, and then finally maintained support here. It is support here because it took out the previous high here, the last high. In this case, it didn't take out that high, or it didn't take out that high. Yes, it did over here, but this is part of another leg, so that needs to be understood. The second point here as well, we've got our trading levels. So we use the Fibonacci numbers as a price ratio. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and then it's back to 1 again. So 8 goes to 10, which is the power of 10, and 20 and 30 and 50 and 80, and then that can go into 100, 200, 300. So it's always that 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. So we've got 500 here, 800 here, and I always find the halfway mark between levels really important. So that brings us into the 3650 here, and as I always say, the 600 is important and the 700 is important, but right in between the middle of them, the 50, this 3650 becomes a balance line here, and that's where we can set up trades here, and we can really see that it's also moved up here and tested that as well. So moving off that here, this is the halfway mark, and if it moves higher at this point above this high here, then we can be pretty much assured of continuing to the upside at that point. Because if I, just shooting the breeze here, if I looked at sort of wave 1 over here, for instance, I could look at this as a wave 4 here, a green wave 4, and have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, finishing here and dropping here. So we've got one more little move, we've got one more little space to clear out. So moving that high, taking that high out here is critical. I think that will be the case, though. The market is stepping up nicely. Also, too, within the trading levels, we've got 5 and we've got 8 here. Also need to understand that when we talk about 8, we're talking about group 2. So 5 is the midpoint, and 1, 2, and 3 here, 1, 2, and 3 here, that's all of group 1. When we get support on group 1, then the market can go to the midpoint. And so on. So group 2 includes the number 8 here, but it also includes the 3650, the 3720 in here. So moving up through here, yes, the 37 is going to be important, but we find that the 3720 in terms of trading is what we really want as the support here. And then the large number up here, 38. We'll definitely see some type of correction across here before we hit the medium level up here at 4. So let's move in a little bit closer and have a look. So we've got green wave 2 to green wave 3 here, and we're looking for 5 waves in here, and also we've got 1 and 2 here. And we're going up for 3 here. So we'll also be looking for 5 waves in this wave 3 here. So we'll go to the 1 hour chart here. In this case, we've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and we're going up for wave 3. So this wave 3, we're looking for 5 waves as 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. And as I mentioned yesterday, that it's kind of interesting because in terms of Elliott trading, we're always looking for the third of the third wave structure in the market. So in this case, we've got blue wave 2, and then we've got green wave 2, and then we've got this wave 2, and then we've got this wave 2. So it's the third of the third of the third of the third. So we should see the market really push up quite quickly from this point here. This is where you can get gaps in the market and so on, and news comes to fit those sort of things. But we should see the market push up quite strongly from this point. On the 15-minute chart, where we've got some trades sitting here, we've got wave 1 over here, wave 2 here. We talked about being long here and here. We kept the stop out of the way because it could have pulled back to the 61.8% mark here. And now we can go also long again above this little high here. So that's can go onto that little high because that's an impulse wave up to that point, and then a correction. We could label those as well if we wanted to. So just borrow these. I won't copy them. 1 and 2 here, and 3 in here, and 4, and so on. So 37 is going to give us a bit of grief at that point. But yeah, so that's that really. And yeah, we can now move this stop up under this low because it's tested this level. Technically, it should be taking out that high there, but I can see that it's moved up past the 61.8%. We've also, this level here, the 36.50 here, the important one that I mentioned, between that and 3700, we've got, well, say 36 here to 37. We were talking about minor levels before. We've got major levels, medium levels, minor levels, and then down to sub levels, and then micro levels. So these are sub levels here. But once again, we've got 1, 2, and 3, 5, and 8 here, and then we've got 65 and 72 here, which is group 2. So 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. This is all of group 1. Midpoint, and group 2 here. So group 2 here has held the market in this place here. It should move through this time, through all of this. So yeah, and should be moving off quite nicely at this point in time. So the NASI. So the NASDAQ here, just on the 4-hour chart, wave 3 here with an A, B, and C for wave 4 here, and wave 1 here, and 2 here, and 1 here, and 2 here, and then we're going up for wave 3, 4, and 5 up here for the third wave up here, then the fourth wave, then the fifth wave, and so on. So we can go to maybe the hourly chart here just to get a bit more detail here. So from wave 4 to wave 1 and 2 here, that's all cool. And then we're going from blue wave 2, we're going up to blue wave 3, which I don't have there. Yes, we do. This one here, and then blue wave 4. I mean, we'll adjust all of these, you know. I mean, I can place targets out there and get them much closer, of course, but always best to count the waves. So from wave 2 here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here in green, and we're going up for wave 3 in green here, okay? Between green wave 3 and green wave 2, we're looking for 5 waves. So we're looking at this as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and wave 3 here, and wave 4 here, and then wave 5 here, something of this nature. And then, of course, between wave 2 here and wave 3 here, we're looking for 5 waves as well. So we can look for wave 3, drag that over a little bit, and up here. So we're looking for 5 waves here. We've got wave 1 and 2 here. We're going up for wave 3, 4, and 5 up here. So this move here is corrective. We've managed to stay in this long trade through here, where on the S&P we got stopped out once and we had to move back in, but got to manage that risk. So yeah, you can just continue to add to this here. I'm adding before the level. You could also add above the level here as a tested support. Now what could happen here is a classic trading levels pattern, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then an ABC pattern, and then moving up there again. So just be a little bit mindful of that, because that is at the 500 here, which is 5 is the second strongest number in the market. So we should see a dance there, and we already are seeing that dance where it's had the arrival, the reaction, look for the first high above the level. But once that 500's got support, you can add to that. But we don't want to add going into the 13,000 here if you're a trend trader. We've got all our positions in. The trend's got a beginning, a middle, and an end, and we've got our positions in this particular trend here. And we'll talk about, do we, how far do we hold this here? This is something that we need to work out. I think that we could hold it up to blue wave 3, and we can manage this green wave 4 business here. This one here could be a bit larger, and yeah, that needs another type of management because it's a bit more extreme. But we'll manage this one, and hopefully that's across the 13,000 at that point. So we'll probably take a percentage off and then move back in. I won't have a look at the stock trades that we've got on at the moment. I haven't checked them this morning, but I assume that most of our stock trades are doing quite well at this stage. So yeah, we can check those tomorrow. Alrighty, that's it. So all looking quite good at this stage. So thanks for tuning in. Cheers.